Hey everybody, we're here at the Trent Severn Waterway in Ontario, Canada.
Welcome to the Trent Severn Waterway.
We took a self-drive scenic canal cruise along the world's longest inland waterway with La Boat. Today, we're sharing everything you need to know to enjoy a 7-night houseboat tour cruising through the Trent Severn Waterway. Get ready to learn what boating experience you need, what essentials to pack, how to navigate through locks, rivers, and canals, and what you can expect to see. From national historic sites, picturesque villages, and stunning scenery through the Canadian Shield.
This is the largest inland waterway in the entire world, connecting two of the Great Lakes, Lake Ontario to Lake Huron in Georgian Bay, and it is spectacular.
And we believe the best way to see this is from a boat.
La Boat has boats all around the world, and we've been lucky enough to be on 5 different boats in 3 different countries. However, nothing really compares to Canada's indoor waterways. If you want to check out our other La Boat videos, we have it in the links below in our playlist of houseboating, and it is a lot of fun to see how different all of the different locks are around the world.
There are many different itineraries you can do here on the Trent Severn Waterway. We pick up our boat at the Horseshoe Bay Marina, which is just south of Peterborough, Ontario, and cruise through a couple locks before we get to Peterborough itself, and then we head right on up the waterway.
Our route took us from the La Boat Marina base all the way up to Bobcaygeon. You may have heard of Bobcaygeon from the Tragically Hip, one of Canada's most revered rock bands, and they sang about it. So a lot of people have asked us, how difficult are the La Boats to drive? Well, let me tell you, these are extremely easy houseboats to drive.
Yeah, they are very easy to control. You have 2 options from where to steer the boat. You can steer it either from the fly bridge up top, which gives you, I think, the best view. So if you can drive from there most of the time, unless it's inclement weather, but you can drive from below. It's just an easy shift to flip the steering from below to the above. The actual control of the boat is super easy. They come with both bow and stern hydraulic thrusters, which allow you to maneuver the front of the boat and the back of the boat basically side to side, which really helps in docking and even going into the locks themselves. You can basically just shift get your speed up going in, shift a bit into neutral, and use those thrusters to get you into where you need to go. One thing about the boat is you do not need a boat license to drive one of these. They actually give you a lesson, a fairly involved lesson before you actually get in here, and they make you, turn the boat around, steer it, park it, and run you through all the safety features as well as all the information you'll need to drive the boat safely.
There are limiters on the boat as well, so you can only go 10 kilometers an hour, maybe 11 if you have the wind and the current behind you. But this is a leisurely ride, so you just want to enjoy your day riding 2 or 3 hours of boating before you get to the next dock. You're going to want to talk to them about how to navigate and follow all of the buoys, because you are going to have to go between green and red buoys. You're going to have to know what the signs are and which way you're going for the navigation, because any wrong turn, you could end up on rocks. But it is so well mapped out that if you use your binoculars and you follow the map, it's a lot of fun to do the navigation. I have a blast doing it. Yeah. You'll get there with no problem at all.
And when you are planning out your route, just remember that you're only doing 10 kilometers an hour at full speed. So when you're planning where to go from one day to the next, think about that in the timing that it's going to take you there. Also, you could spend up to, an hour, maybe even 2 hours waiting at a lock, depending on what season you're here. So ask the lockmasters, what is it like going ahead? Is there a big wait? So you can factor in where you're actually going to be later on that evening based on the timing. Also, the locks have specific hours, So you will need to know when they open and when they close, so that when you show up, you're like, oh, I can't go any farther. You know, I know it doesn't open until maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, depending on the season, depending on the day of the week, but you can check the website to figure that out.
Before you leave, make sure that you ask all the questions so you're comfortable. Ask them how you work the stove. Ask them how to work the barbecue. Ask them, where do I turn on the hot water if I don't have any? Just make sure that you ask every question. The Le Boat staff are here to help. One of the highlights of this trip is going through the world's highest lift lock in Peterborough. It is the coolest experience. You drive into what's like a bucket of water, and then it lifts you up into the air to connect to the next lock.
It's definitely a unique experience. Actually, going through all the locks here in the Trent Severn Waterway is a unique experience. They're all manned by Parks Canada, so there's always someone there to ask advice about where you're going, and they are just a plethora of knowledge about the local area.
So how does going through the locks work? Well, what you do is you drive up to the blue line and wait for the red light to turn green. They'll call you in and you use your thrusters and your guidance. These boats are super easy to handle to go into the lock, and then you have a person on the back and a person on the front with ropes, and all they have to do is loop the ropes around these long cables that will keep the boat steady as you are lifted or lowered into the lock.
And you may be in the lock with other people as well. It's not just you individually, so there's some etiquette that you have to go with, but if there's any questions, you just ask the lockmaster there and they'll tell you exactly where to go and where to position yourself, because it's their responsibility to load the lock properly.
The spoils of life.
Now, the boats themselves are very well equipped. You have to plan out your meals as you're going. We did a 7-night trip, so we planned out meals, some actually in the actual towns and some where we're basically eating on the boat. The Horizon 2 Plus is what we chose for this particular trip. Comes with a full-size fridge, so you don't have to worry about anything going rotten as you're going. So you can basically stock that fridge at the beginning. It also has softer, more comfortable mattresses, so you get that as well compared to the Horizon 2.
There is a stove, a microwave, and a barbecue, so you can do your steaks, your burgers, your chicken, your kebabs, anything you like. And at most of the locks, there are liquor stores and general stores where you can restock your water, your wine. So it's just fantastic and such an easy way to explore Ontario.
So getting ready for your trip here on the Trent Severn Waterway, there's a few things that you should think about definitely packing. We've done 5 of these, so we have a good idea of what should be in that packing list and what you should leave at home.
A few of the items besides your clothes is that you want to bring an extra towel. They supply you with towels, but if you're on here for 7 nights, they can get quite wet. So we have not only just our extra microfiber towels that we use for traveling, but we also have beach towels.
You're going to want to make sure you pack some extra hangers. There's definitely little places that you can stow your clothes, but especially on the Horizon 2 Plus here, there really is just that one cupboard that you can put everything.
Another thing you'll want to bring are your toiletries. We have a pack safe where we hang our toiletries in the shower. It keeps them nice and dry and safe from falling over. But we also packed shampoo and conditioner, which is not supplied. We packed a bar of soap, and we packed extra toilet paper. We brought extra sponges to wash our dishes with scrubbers as well. So we had 2 of those. We brought several extra tea towels. They supply a tea towel, but you know, the same thing. You're on the water, things get damp, so I like having a few tea towels with me. And of course, dish soap. We've had it supplied in the past, but this time we didn't, and luckily we had it with us.
Another thing you're going to want to throw in your duffel bag is some cleaning cloths. So we brought some just yellow absorbent cloths, about 6 or 7 of them that you can use to wipe down basically the boat itself and the seats and all those things. If it gets wet, if it rains, or if it gets dewy in the morning, you're definitely going to want to wipe stuff down. So they're good and handy to have around. Now the boat does supply you with like a broom and a dustpan, as well as a mop and a bucket to help keep things clean while you're up here, but it's always good to have those extra towels.
And as Dave mentioned, he said something about a duffel bag. We suggest packing everything in a duffel bag so you can roll it up and put it away. Hard cases are just not possible in here. You'd be storing and walking around them everywhere you go.
And one quick note is that at each lock station, if you decide to stay at the locks themselves, which is actually included in the price with your boat rental, they have bathroom facilities at most of them. And you can ask the lockmaster there for the code, so you can go in and use the bathroom at each one of the lock stations if you prefer to do that.
The one thing at the locks is you won't get shore power. You'll have to pay $1.25 per foot, but the boats really hold a charge, so you don't need shore power every night. You can choose to if you decide that you want to stay on board and do some cooking or just relax for the night, but a lot of times you can make it through the night without shore power. What really makes the boat experience special is that you dock in these really beautiful places. You can come upstairs and have a barbecue, little sunset cocktail, and relax for the evening. We are in for the night. Cheers.
All in all, I think that the best way to see this part of Ontario is from the water on a boat. It definitely gives you that different view of this beautiful area up here in northern Ontario, and it is a great place to cruise and enjoy nature up here in Canada.
It's incredible to watch how the scenery changes. You go through farmland, you go through grasslands, and then you end up in the Canadian Shield, which is one of the most unique places on Earth and landscapes. And you're going to see a lot of multi-million-dollar mansions as well. So keep those binoculars out and see how the other half lives. And that's our boat experience.
And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and click that bell, because we put up new travel videos each week. Ciao for now.